All right. Hey, hello everyone. Hello. Welcome guys, welcome. I think everything is looking good here. I think everyone should be getting the notifications now. Hello. Welcome guys, welcome. Okay, well hopefully YouTube has sent out the notifications to all the subscribers here. Okay. Are we good to go here? Let me see. Hopefully the connection is okay. I see your guys' your hearts there. Thank you. Your reactions. Okay, I think we're good. I think the connection is stable as well. Okay. Well, welcome guys. Let's first begin with, as usual, the overall market action, and I kind of want to go over what Jerome Powell has stated today too, and the subsequent market reaction that we saw during his news conference and or his press conference, and his answers to some questions that were very interesting, and especially some of the answers that he gave us, because essentially you know, he's their Fed chairman, and what he says is kind of what goes. Obviously there's opinions and other votes that come with what he ultimately says from the other Fed members, but again, what he says is very important. Okay, so yeah, so what you guys are seeing here now is just the 3-minute time frame chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and so far has been a nice little bump up higher, a nice little bounce from the close that we saw. Now I kind of want to quickly go over futures because we are making this this kind of curve here, right? This rounded curve, and if you invert the chart, right? So I've shown this to my readers of their CFO Swinger Watch Report and in the privacy of a Discord, but this doesn't look too good, right? So if we inverted this, right? This is the inverted chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and it seems like we're making a very nice rounded base, right? And so usually rounded base tends to break out to the upside, and so obviously if we revert this back to the original chart, that means that we have a lot more downside to go to, and guess what? We have officially closed below the daily 200 SMA, all right, for a couple times now, right? There's a few times now. This is I think the third official time that we've closed below the daily 200 SMA, and currently we may just be working on another fourth close below the daily 200 SMA. Okay, so you know, I think so far it's good to be mindful of where we're at now regarding the market. There's definitely a clear signal that breakouts aren't the trade to go. Most likely still it's going to be scalps, day trades, right, and some swing trades. Again, the reason why some swing trades are really working is that, well, there's been sector rotations, and there's also been this push and pull between leaders and laggards, right? And obviously the simple typical textbook rotations between growth and value. Okay, so with that being said, okay, I want to quickly go over kind of my outlook. So make sure you guys stick around here and really listening closely here as to what we can be expecting. Okay, so first of all, on the S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY, or just take a look at SPX as well, the index itself. But either way, the same analysis should still work out for what I'm about to show you here on SPY. But as I've stated before, right, this wedge, okay, ideally we should have, ideally, okay, now this is not realistically, ideally, right, this is what we would have wanted to see. We would want to see just continuous sideways action, right? This tightening of the price action within the parameters set up by these two trend lines. However, ultimately we didn't get that, and we actually broke to the downside. And obviously wedge chart patterns give you two different options, either a breakout to the upside or to the downside, and in this case we have a nice breakout to the downside. Now, it seems like with this downside breakout, we have a nice little meeting with the 660 level, which is exactly where the daily 200 SMA has currently caught up to. Today, it closed at 659.77, so only 23 cents away from this 660 whole number level. And again, this is just a SMA support area. There's a lot more important levels of significance that will act as major levels of support. For example, that would be 654.50. So we are finally starting to move away from my four major levels here, right? So 694, 686, 675.50, and 670. We have been using these four levels for the past 4.5 months now. Oh, I would say it's almost 5 months, but 4.5 months, and the price is officially broken below 670 here today, and we have gone back down, and we are now hitting 660. Now, here's the thing, okay? So if we were to have a nice reaction above this daily 200 SMA, and so far we were holding it on the E-mini futures here for the S&P 500, but if you were to hold it, right, we should be seeing somewhat of a very nice V-shaped bounce, okay? But if you were to, well, ideally, if you were to want to get, if you were to ideally get a V-shaped bounce, we have to see a retest of a major level of support, and that would be 654.50. And this actually works a lot better than just getting a V-shaped recovery at the daily 200 SMA. Why? Well, first of all, let me give you guys a quick textbook technical analysis lesson that I think I've been doing this. I think I did this last time I went live too, and I think you guys really enjoyed that. So, a brief technical analysis lesson. So, whenever the price reacts off of or retests a major long-term SMA or EMA, again, exponential moving average or simple moving average or just a day moving average, whatever it is, on any major long-term moving average, with the price retests it and potentially breaks below it on any large long-term SMAs or EMAs like the 200 here on the daily time frame, we tend to see a brief, quick, volatile move to break the long-term SMA or EMA. So, for example, in this example here, right, we're moving downward, right? The trend is to the downside to meet up with the daily 200 SMA. So we will be seeing a very volatile move, a big, quick volatile move below the daily 200 SMA. And if you were on the opposite side, or in the opposite perspective of things, and if we were heading to the upside and we're coming up to meet the daily 200 SMA, right? So maybe something like this, okay, like that. We would be seeing a very quick volatile breakout over the daily 200 SMA, right? And then we come back down, right? So this would happen, right? So we have a nice breakout above the daily 200 SMA, and then we come back down to retest it again, right? for confirmation of whether or not we want to use the daily 200 SMA as an area of SMA support and stay above it, right? But in this case, right, so that's the quick technical analysis lesson there, right? I write all about this in my book as well too, my beginner's trading guide. So if you guys are interested in grabbing that, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram, okay? At chartsfocus1, by the way. It's the same handle as the channel name here. Exact same spelling too. So in this case, right, so based on what you guys just learned there, right, one of the most basic fundamentals of technical analysis whenever you guys are using a moving average, okay, it would be a lot more realistic for the price to retest, right, at 660, or again coinciding with the daily 200 SMA, this yellow line here, and then we subsequently have a nice move below, and we break below the daily 200 SMA. Again, that'll be a very quick and volatile move to retest the next major level of support, and that will be this whole number level of 654.50, right? And then that should give us the ideal conditions to have. Does that make sense? Okay, show me in the live chat room if you guys are understanding that. Okay, I see some reactions there. Hopefully my connection is okay. I think we're good. Are we good? Yeah, okay. Awesome. All right. So, oh, thank you guys for the likes there. Make sure you guys, if you guys are just joining in now, make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Okay, not just on the chat room, but I would really appreciate it if you guys can hit that like button down below too, because the engagement on the video, on these streams, and obviously the replays that come after the streams are done, it really depends on the likes. Okay, so that's what we should be expecting. Okay, now for anyone who was in the Discord, the private Discord today morning, I gave you guys a small hint that there's a possibility that we could be seeing 2 downside moves. Okay, so what I mean by that is, well, first of all, if you were to get this nice big push up higher, and obviously this is heading towards the summer months, right? This is the toward mid Q2, okay, from around May, right? We should be seeing a nice run up into the summer months, right? And into mid to late summer, and that's when we should be seeing another move down, okay? And that would be, my apologies guys, so that'll be another move down. That'll be a first downward move compared to the first one that we've been seeing so far, that we are currently in now, right? And as that happens, okay, so let me just give you guys I'll show you guys a little peek as to what I'm thinking about, right? So we continue to move down, but in a very constructive manner, okay? So again, this is not accurate at all, but as you continue to move down, right, I expect us to bottom out around, I would say around September to October, maybe around there, September to October, and around September to October, we should be seeing another intermittent market bottom to form, because that's going to be heading into the midterm elections. Now it's going to be held in the first week of November. And what we tend to see is market bottoms tend to form near, like leading up into the midterm elections around early November, the first week of November again, or right after the midterm elections are over and we kind of get the general results of the midterm elections. Okay, so again, it's too early to tell, right? I don't know if you're even going to have those 2 downturns, or this first downturn or not, but I'm going to expect yet another kind of this intermittent move up higher, right, as we head into midterm elections or immediately after the election results are announced, right? And once that's over, right, we should be seeing yet another dip as we head into 2027. Does that make sense? Okay, so this should be setting us up for quite a roller coaster ride, and I've actually already explained this to everyone in mid Q4 of last year. So again, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who has been a reader of the CFO Swinger Watch Report. I've already explained to everyone, kind of basically explaining that you guys should be expecting. action that we've been experiencing since this year began, right? So overall, you know, obviously this is a lot of speculation, right? I'm going to be expecting 2 runs back to the upside and another 2 runs to the downside, right? Back to the downside. But here's the thing, this entire up and down dance here can continuously occur within all these major levels that you guys are currently seeing here on my daily time frame chart, right? I mean, even just these 3 levels here down here that you guys can see here, these 3 levels can also be used as well, along with the 4 major levels that we've been stuck in for the past 4.5 months, which again we're currently out of now, but all of these 7 in total levels can be involved here in this entirety of this year, right? In this entire year. So again, hopefully I'm not confusing you guys here, but this is what I'm expecting to see. Does that make sense? Give me some reactions there if that makes sense. Okay, I see your guys' reactions there. Nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what we should be looking at. Alright, and hopefully you guys have been paying attention here, because the next ticker that I want, well, the main ticker that I want to talk about tonight is U. Okay, U. Y-O-U, excuse me, not Y-O-W. Y-O-U, right? Y-O-W would be Yow, but okay. So if you guys don't know what this is a software ticker that has been doing extremely well. This software company is actually involved a little bit with security, a little bit of cybersecurity as well, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, the main reason why I want to take a look at this one tonight, and the reason why it was featured in this week's CFO Swinger Watch Report, and finally the third reason why is that, well, it's actually performed really well since the week began, and we're able to actually catch this entire move so far. You guys see here, right? So the 3 candlesticks here resemble the candlesticks of Monday, Tuesday, and today, currently, right? Wednesday. So first of all, the earnings for this company completely blew it out the park, right? Double beat, and their guidance was absolutely amazing, right? And investors love that. And its overall upbeat outlook and overall revenue guidance, I believe even the cash flow as well for this company was looking very, very nice and upbeat. And after the earnings call was over, we had this massive reaction on the next day after, as people began to realize what this company was starting to do, right? And the fact that maybe in the next couple of years, with this current administration, this company can actually profit and benefit really well from the current administration's actions, right? And so this software company hasn't been really been a quote-unquote beneficiary to the overall software sector's meltdown, right? As the AI disruption fears really took hold, and this company has actually began to consolidate even before that, right? Because we saw the entire slaughtering of software stocks that began from, I think, like mid to late October to currently now. It's still in the lows here, but U here obviously has moved completely in the opposite direction, right? It consolidated, right? In fact, it was making an uptrend during the entire slaughtering of software stocks, and then came back down, consolidate right at the major SMAs here, and then the earnings reaction absolutely had a nice skyrocket price action to the upside, and ever since then we've been holding it. So again, the fundamentals are there, and the technicals continue to show that there's relative strength in this company, right, in the share price. Now, there's even more relative strength that I've noticed. So let me actually give you guys this complete, let me read you guys this complete paragraph that I've given to my CFO Swinger Watch Report readers. Again, this is a report that is only given to my readers here, and every single Sunday night. And there's a nice little sneak peek as to one of the trade ideas that I gave everyone that has been worked out absolutely great. And there are other trade ideas in this week's report that has already worked out really well. And I know some members have already made a pretty good profit off of these ideas. So for YOW, I don't know why I keep saying W. So here's what I said. I say I'm giving an update to this because this is still one of the best charts out there, clearly, right? And this is a software tech name that just had a stellar earnings report and reaction, and the price has continued to show textbook consolidation. It's a slow pullback, right, from this absolutely massive earnings leg up or drift higher, right, with low volume, right, this slow pullback at this big reaction, and is still at the upper ranges of the earnings day candlestick, which is on February 25th. So this candlestick right here, right, again, it hasn't even come back down to the midpoint of the earnings day reactions range, right? It's still at the, again, upper ranges of the earnings day candlestick here, right? So where was I? Where did I leave off? Oh, yeah, right here. So as I've stated last week, this one will be a watch list name because, again, I included this name in last week's report as well because it just looks so good. But I also reminded them that this is still a watch list name as it continues to consolidate. And so for this week, right, I said that make sure you have your alerts on at each potential entry point. And based on the current action so far, the entry points have slightly changed and will most likely change again once this week is over as the price continues to consolidate at the upper ranges of the earnings day candlestick, right? And so again, very, very bullish, very, very good momentum, and very good relative strength. And so that's the reason why, again, if you guys, those are the three major reasons why here, right? As the reasons why this is one of the strongest stocks right now in the market, okay? Just from a fundamental perspective and from a technical perspective as well, okay? So right now, the price has made a solid support around $44, so right here at this whole number level. So as long as the daily 21 SMA, the light blue line. So let me actually give you guys even a better look to what I was seeing on Sunday night. So I was seeing this. Oh, start new. Okay. So this is what I was seeing on Sunday night. Okay. So, so obviously very nice looking bull flag here, right? So right now the price has made a solid support around 44, as I was saying. And so as long as the daily 21 SMA, this light blue line, okay, can continue to curl higher towards that $44 support level to eventually add another layer of solid support, we should have a green light on a second leg up higher. And guess what? Okay, if I play the current action now, that's exactly what the 21 SMA has done, right? And we are now sitting right below the whole number level of $44. So again, absolutely perfect on point technical analysis here from me on this trade idea, right? And so again, everything's looking very, very good as we held this $44 support level, and the daily 21 SMA has caught up to the $44 level as well. Now, as I've stated here in the last sentence, I said, however, one thing to keep in mind is that this entire trade idea will be completely invalidated if it loses both the daily 10 and 21 SMAs, and will definitely not be a long idea if it closes and fills that earnings gap up area, which is right here. But again, we weren't even getting close to this earnings gap up area, even if we were pulling back. And again, this pullback was textbook because we had a nice, slow, controlled pullback with very, very low volume compared to the overall average daily volume as well. So again, this was clearly indicating that we were looking at a very, very strong stock here. And again, I think this is one of the strongest stocks out there right now. So I think you guys really should be looking at this one, even if you guys did miss out on the actual entry point, because we did get in on Monday. And we were able to currently still ride this up higher. I took half off yesterday, and I'm still holding the rest here. So now, if you guys aren't really fond of this name, if you guys maybe have traded this in the past, well, don't worry, because I think there's a lot of opportunity in this one, just solely based off of the fact that this is one of the strongest looking stocks out there right now. I mean, you even just take a look at the performance today, right? It's up 0.91% while the market's closed down, right, at negative 1.40%. Alright, so this is the complete opposite. Even the trend is inverse. Okay? Right? So, even if you don't like this name, please take a look at this one, because there's still a possibility that you guys can grab an entry point, maybe back at 46. Right? Maybe it wants a retest at this little breakout that we saw on Monday that we were able to catch, or we can see a potential for the price to consolidate right underneath this massive whole number level of $50, and that can give us a nice entry point over $50.10 as seen here. Okay, and again, this $50 level, okay, comes from the IPO days. Okay, so there's a huge massive resistance level at $50, and so if you're able to break over this, the next logical level will be $54 here, right? This is the next IPO resistance that we saw back in 2021 and even in or I guess just late 2021. Okay, so even if you were to get a breakout entry point at $50, and if you're looking for a breakout or a target of $54, that'll be a nice 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio, right? So if you guys are using the textbook swing trading rules of RR ratios, right? A 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio is very, very solid. So a breakout over $50, nice entry point, right, over 50.10, and then a profit target of 54 will be absolutely a very, very good swing trade there for you guys to take. Okay, so again, you don't have to fret about or have FOMO for missing out on a potential trade over $44 or out of this descending trend line here, as long as we can continue to see consolidation, solid sideways action underneath $50. There's still yet again going to be another opportunity to have a massive second leg up higher, as long as the markets don't fully crash to the downside, okay, and as long as the overall stock just continues to have this inverse momentum compared to the markets and has the bullish momentum to carry on with its basically an earnings drift up higher, right? I mean, I would say this current week's action has clearly demonstrated that this ticker just continues to be one of the strongest stocks out there. And again, whenever the markets are making this small correction right now, again, we're down like negative 50% or something like that from the current all-time highs price print. Again, that's still in the textbook, well, that's still the beginning of a textbook correction of -5 to -10%. But again, it's a good idea to follow leading stocks like this, right? Leading in relative strength, leading in momentum, leading in fundamentals, leading in just overall bullishness, because if the markets turn around, these stocks can continue to have massive upside potential, right? And you want to be looking out for these stocks that are currently holding very, very strong compared to a very, very weak market. Because again, if the markets turn back up higher, like I've stated before, again, if we were to follow this price path that I just explained to you guys a couple minutes ago on the daily time frame here, right, as well, right, where we start to have a nice long V-shaped recovery back to the upside into the summer months, well, in that same time frame, in that same time period, you has a clear opportunity to just continue to drift up higher, right? But as long as we continue to move sideways and tightly consolidate underneath this massive $50 whole number level, and again, we've known that this level is a massive level because in the most recent, right, retest at this level, we continue to reject it, and essentially these multiple retests at this $50 level gave us this very nice slow and controlled pullback with very low volume to contribute to this slow pullback, right? And eventually gave us an opportunity here to have a nice intermittent swing trade as the price continues to kind of consolidate between $44.50, right? Or excuse me, $44.50 here, right? So now, what are the next steps for you, right? If we were to well, for example, if you guys are now going to be watching the stock, because again, I kind of highly recommend you guys do that, since it is a leading stock compared to the markets. And again, the reason why we want to be looking at this stock is that if the markets turn back up, this one should be even more of a leader, right? As it continues to have a nice earnings drift up higher with the markets, right? With the markets backing up the reason to continue to move up higher. So now, kind of the future prediction that I have for YOU will be, well, again, it just continues to tightly consolidate between 50 and 44, right? Obviously, I'm making it very dramatic here with these very long lines, okay? But eventually, we'll want to see a nice breakout over $50, and eventually we can go back and hit $54, right? Okay, so that's kind of my longer term target here for $54 for YOU. Okay, so I think this is a solid look to what I'm expecting in my own head, right? This is kind of what I'm imagining here as to what can occur. Let me actually kind of scrunch this up together. I know it doesn't look pretty anymore, but this is kind of the idea, right? Where we continue to kind of form on this weekly time frame, right? Because we're on the weekly time frame here. This very nice bull flag. All right, so something like that, right? Where we just continue to move sideways between this kind of not massive, but a nice long range between $44 and $50. Okay, so again, I think you or ticker symbol YOU should definitely be in your watch list. If it's not in your watch list after this stream, I don't know why it wouldn't be. Because again, I think this is a great opportunity for you guys to continue to have it on your watch list. And on the weekly time frame here, I think there's plenty of time to just simply set up an alert at this $50 whole number level, right, for a potential entry over 50.10 as seen here. Okay, and as time goes by, we should be seeing again this ideal price path that I've just drawn for you guys. And again, another, I guess I can give you guys another textbook technical analysis lesson here. But the reason why I'm envisioning this potential price path for you here is that, well, my weekly 10 and 21 SMAs are very far away from the price here. And as usual with any other EMAs or SMAs or whatever moving averages that you guys use, they usually have a magnetic personality, right? Where it really wants to be magnetized towards the price action. And so far, we're very far away from the price action here, right? So if you just want to take a look at it from a percentage perspective, it's gonna let me, okay, just from the weekly 10 SMA alone, right, we're more than 19% away from the daily 10 SMA to the current closed share price, right? So rather than seeing the price coming back down to retest the 10 SMA, I want to see the exact opposite. I want to see a textbook move of the 10 SMA curling upwards and continuously moving up higher to meet the price, just like what we saw on the daily time frame with the daily 21 SMA. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? Right, we always want to see the SMAs curling up higher to meet the price rather than the opposite, right? But actually, it's the complete opposite when you're looking for a short position, right? When you're looking for the price to move lower, right? You want the prices to actually diverge and move away as quickly as possible from its SMAs, right? So it breaks below the SMAs and it continues to move away from the SMAs, right? So that's the complete opposite, inverse of in this case, an upside trend where the SMA should catch up to the share price rather than the share price catching up to the moving average. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, so you guys' reactions there. Okay, so I think there is a lot of opportunity here, even just trying to play within the ranges here between 44 and 50. But as long as the market makers price in this current valuation as well, because again, the valuation matters too as the share prices oscillate here. But it seems like so far, based on the current action and the fact that we were able to break out from this $44 level, or this descending resistance trend line, as we continue to oscillate between these two major levels. Seems like we are basically pricing in the fact that, hey, this current valuation is fine. There's potential for it to go even higher, right? To grow even bigger, right? As long as the share prices continue to consolidate well here within this range, and eventually we can see a nice breakout over $50. And again, why do we want to see solid consolidation? Because, well, on the weekly time frame, the weekly 10 and the weekly 21 SMAs, my short-term SMA pair can catch up, right? Once it can catch up, then and only then we can see a breakout over $50, and eventually a nice drift back up higher to the but the IPO resistance level of $54, right? You guys can see that all the way back here, right? This is one of the major, well, $50 and $54 were two major resistance levels during the IPO price action. Hey, what's up, guys? For anyone who's just joining in now, you're kind of nearing, or you guys just came in at the end of the stream here. But again, the replay is always here for you guys to watch. And if you guys are just joining us now, I gave some pretty good potential speculative outlooks for the overall markets, and I give you guys some two solid textbook technical analysis lessons as well that you guys really might want to hear. If you guys don't know anything about some of the fundamentals of technical analysis, so make sure you guys take a look at that as well. So again, if you guys are just joining us now, please watch the replay. I gave, again, some very solid information on the markets and what could happen in the markets for the rest of this year, and I give you guys two solid fundamental lessons on textbook technical analysis. Okay, so yeah, I mean, one of the strongest stocks out there fundamentally as well. It seems like this company is set to really profit well based on what this current administration is doing, and just the overall kind of cybersecurity aspect to this company as well is just yet another favorite thing to add onto the reasons why a lot of bulls are involved in this name currently. I mean, you can clearly see it reflected on the price action itself after earnings as well too. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, all right, see you guys' reactions there. Thank you guys. Yep, all right, perfect. Awesome. Okay, well, that is it for tonight, guys. Hopefully, again, these streams are always helpful, but most importantly, applicable. Right? Hopefully you guys can actually use this information for the rest of this year, and also maybe even immediately tomorrow, right? Or into the end of this week. And if that is indeed the case after what you guys heard tonight, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you guys are new to the channel here, if you guys are newcomers, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. We're almost at 650 subscribers. All right, I really think we're about to hit 700 subs here soon on YouTube here, so that's amazing to see. All right, well, that is it for tonight, guys. I'll see you guys next week on Monday at the same time at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, there is a slight possibility that I may or may not do another live stream tomorrow, since I did miss out on Monday. But if I do announce it for tomorrow, you guys will be seeing a live stream video pop up. And the only way that it will pop up is if you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell icon as well. Okay, so once you hit that subscribe button, a notification bell icon should pop up, and hit that. And once you hit that icon, you guys should be getting a notification whenever I upload a new video on this channel or whenever I am live. All right. Again, hit that like button down below, and also hit that subscribe button as well, because we are on a very quick path towards 700 subs before the end of this year is over. All right, well, That's it for tonight, guys. I will catch you guys on the next one and have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for watching.